We continue our look at Conference USA Western Division at the Conference USA Kickoff, presented by Ryan. Let's go a little bit out west now. We turn our attention to the Miners of UTEP, and joining us, a friend for a long time, Dana Dimmel. Coach, good to have you. I'm afraid to call you Dana now because of what Dion said. You got to call me Coach, not Dion. I'll call you Dana, though, if that's okay.
That works for me, Ron. Always great working with you. Got a lot of good memories.
Absolutely. I like this quote you said. You said, we aren't really close, we are there. And when you look at last year, your offense was rolling, and all of a sudden COVID really kind of played havoc with your team. But you really believe you're there now, don't you?
I do. You know, a big part of last year that broke our momentum more than anything, Ron, was the fact that we lost all of our home games after our first two home wins. You know, it was September 18th, 19th. I think 19th was the date, and after that, we didn't have a home game the rest of the season, and, you know, obviously that broke a lot of momentum and, you know, kept us from getting to where we want to be. But, you know, obviously we were one win away from getting to a bowl game last year, and 3 points away basically from getting to a bowl game. So we feel like, you know, now don't take anything for granted and let's really work and get ourselves over the hump.
And you and I have talked about this before. You have to have players that learn how to walk into a stadium and expect to win. Are your players starting to understand that?
Ron, that's the big thing, and you and I, again, have spent so much time together, but expecting to win is the critical thing, and that's where we need to get ourselves to as we progress through the season. But that once you reach that stage where your guys walk on the field and they expect to win each and every ball game, then you know you've arrived. And so we know we have the talent to do that. Now it's just putting it all together and making that happen.
Oh, we talked about your offense and how explosive it was last year, but I think looking at your skill position players, you have the most explosive skill position players that UTEP has had in decades. Do you think that's a fair statement?
Well, you know, I really love the talent that we have. You know, it starts with the running back position, and we're very, very deep at the running back position. You know, it goes 4 deep, really, but 3 very proven players in Ronnie Awatt and Deion Hankins and Quadrez Wadley, and then we got a young guy there we redshirted last year, Will Eldridge. So we got a very deep backfield with lots of talent, and then of course you got you know, JG and you got Jacob Cowing at receiver, and you got Walt Don coming back, and then we brought in a talented junior college transfer in Tyron Smith as well. So between those 4, and there's a lot of depth at receiver as well. And another guy we're trying to get more incorporated in the offense will be Trent Thompson at tight end, because he's a really good tight end as well.
Is your offensive scheme going to change very much because you have a new offensive coordinator?
You know, it's going to be really nice to have Dave with us. You know, Dave and I have worked together back at Houston, and he's always been a really good complement and a very knowledgeable coach. He's taken Michigan State as a coordinator to the playoffs and to multiple victories and multiple bowl games and top 10 finishes. So his experience that he brings to coaching our quarterbacks and running our offense, you know, we're going to be like-minded schematically. We won't change dramatically, but he's bringing a lot of things with him that he's done before as well. So he's going to be a really, really good addition for us.
I really liked the improvement you showed on defense. And I think one of the keys for UTEP last season, you got quarterback hurries, you got quarterback sacks, and when I watched you at the end of the year, I thought this is something Coach Dimmel can really build on defensively.
We got to have that. We got to be disruptive, and we really started to make that move last year. Like you said, Ron, very, very good point right there. We started to become a lot more disruptive with what we were doing, a lot more lost yardage plays, a lot more turnovers caused, and I think this year we're really going to emphasize that and try to really make another big step in that direction.
Oh, you can see the rankings there. Rush defense 4th, but pass defense 12th. Is that personnel? Is it scheme? Or is it getting more pressure to get that number 12 down and pass defense down a little bit farther?
Great question. Yeah, great question. I think it's a little bit of all those ingredients. I think, again, continuing to rush the passer better to get more pressure in our 4-man rushes, get more pressure in our 5- and 6-man rushes. And then we've done some things to really increase our talent level in the secondary as well, you know, and I think that's going to be a big plus for us. We've added a lot more personnel to our secondary, and I feel much more comfortable about our secondary play. So that's where we really try to amp things up personnel-wise on defense.
Well, you look at the talents you have coming back, both offensively and defensively, and some of the things we talked about. Expectations, they're probably higher than I have heard in the last, I'd say, 5 to 7 years down in El Paso. You love those expectations. I know coaches do, but you also have to keep your players in a realistic mode about those expectations. Has that been a tight rope to walk?
It is, Ron. It's very important, and that's why I said, the big thing and we've had this theme at many places that I've been is don't take things for granted. Just because we showed a lot of improvement last year doesn't mean we'll do the same again this year. So don't take anything for granted, and let's go out and do some special things that haven't been done here in a long, long time.
Well, that sounds like a Bill Snyderism.
It does, unfortunately. When you spend that much time around him, that's going to happen. But, you learn a lot, and that's something that's really important as you guide a football team.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at your schedule, and I want to get your thoughts about the schedule because at the beginning, it's pretty favorable, I think, for UTEP. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I like the schedule. I really like that we open with our rival. I think that gets guys really geared up to come out and play a really good first game. And I know when we've had that in the past, that's made our team elevate their work ethic in camp, and I like that part of it. And then it escalates to a really good, we come back home with our home opener against Bethune-Cookman, but then we have a very, very tough test going to Boise State, and it'll be a really fun opportunity and challenge for us there. And then we come back and play, New Mexico, have a ton of respect for at home, coming back and then get into conference play and open conference play with Old Dominion. So there's a chance to start off the season with some good momentum, and as you know, momentum's such a huge part of sports.
Well, I think you've done an outstanding job of rebuilding the UTEP program, and I think this is going to be a big year for you and the Miners. Dana, always good to see you.
Ron, thanks, and enjoy spending time with you.
As we were talking about just a moment ago with head coach Dana Dibble, the defense, a lot of improvement last year, especially versus the run. One of the reasons defensive end Praise Amehule, the redshirt sophomore out of Katy, Texas, was all-freshman team back in 2019 and was second team All-Conference USA last year, and he joins us now. Praise, good to have you with us.
Thanks for having me, Ron. How you doing, my man?
I am doing great. I'm doing great. Talk about the jump you made from your redshirt freshman year to last season. What are the areas you think you improved the most in?
I really feel overall, starting with my weight, I had to really be consistent with that, trying to, put on more weight, because I'm playing a really physical game in the line with the big O-lineman, but just overall, just working hard during the summer, trying to get big, trying to get faster, so I could run around them, just like an overall improvement the whole 2020.
What did it mean to you to make an All-Conference USA team last season?
It meant a lot, just coming in as a freshman and just seeing the guys in front of me, seeing the potential they had, just kind of give me like an inspiration that I could go do that, I could be better, it's like because the team needed someone to step up and be a leader, so I just had to just embrace that role and I just had to elevate my game to the next level.
Well, as we talked about your rush defense last year, you were one of the top rush defenses in Conference USA, but near the bottom in pass defense. Has the defense, not necessarily the coaches, but defensive players, have you gotten together and talked about that you need to do better on a pass rush or defending the pass?
Oh, absolutely. It's always an emphasis in practice every day in our PRPs, trying to get back to the pass thrower or the quarterback, just trying to work in our pass rush game day in and day out, because we know we have really good, guys in the middle and the run, so we just have to get back, to just getting more better and getting more tools in our toolbox for the pass rusher so we can attack and just stop the pass game as well.
Now, your defensive scheme is going to tweak a little bit this year. You're probably going to go a lot of 4-2-5. Do you like that, the fact that now, you do have 4 down linemen or 4 people on the line? Do you think that's going to help you some?
Absolutely. It will be a great help. We've been asking for it for a while with the last DC, but, we were just happy for the change with Coach Peavy, though, with the 4-2. Give a lot of guys a lot of chances to get to the quarterback, one-on-ones with the tackles, so it's going to be really good for the guys up front to just gonna get that single pass rush on the O-lineman.
Talk about expectations this year. Coach Dimmel has made no secret that he thinks this team is ready for a breakthrough year and to get back to what UTEP used to be in Conference USA. The players, do you have that same feeling?
Absolutely. We're all in, Ron. Just from the day we started summer workouts, we had a plan. We fell short last season, as Coach mentioned earlier. one win away from a bowl game. So we just kind of had to figure out, what we did wrong, go back, watch the films from last season, see, we have the right tools. We just have to go out there and execute. So it's not a matter of saying this, it's just about executing the stuff and doing it right on Saturdays.
Well, Praise, we really enjoy watching you play. We wish you and the Miners the very best of luck in this coming season. Good having you on today.
Thank you so much, Ron. It's a pleasure as well.
UTEP coming into this season probably has the best skill position players they have had in decades. And one of those is wide receiver Justin Garrett, the redshirt senior out of Compton, California, two-time Conference USA honorable mention. He is an outstanding wide receiver, and we are honored to have Justin Garrett join us now from El Paso, Texas. Justin, good to have you with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
Talking to Coach Dimmel, and he's made it quite known to everybody that this team is there. They're not just close, but they're there. And it's time to make an impact in Conference USA. Do you feel his confidence, and do you agree with that confidence?
100%. I feel Coach Dimmel's confidence. The whole team does. We all understand that we're right there, and this is the year for not just Conference USA, but the entire nation to take notice on UTEP.
Justin, you and I were talking before we started this interview, and I was talking about the respect I have for you because you have had a very difficult life at times. Growing up in Compton, California, you were homeless at times. You lost your sister. She had passed away. But you kept going. You end up in college. You're a redshirt senior. You're all conference. What pushed you? What kept you going forward through all of those tough times?
My family is a big thing to me, and it played a key role to always push me and motivate me to keep going. And I always knew that there was going to be a brighter future for me. So out of high school, I didn't get any scholarships, and I went to junior college, and I pushed through. And my mom just was always there for me, and she just kept me to be resilient and to never give up and just keep striving to be better and to put God first and just put all trust in Him.
At times, do you ever say to yourself, I'm proud of myself? I really think I've overcome a life. I mean, come on, you were homeless at one point.
At times, I do think that I'm proud of myself, and I'm happy to be here, and I'm very grateful and blessed, but the journey has just begun. I'm still young, and I still got a lot of life to live, so I don't try to think about how far I came, but I just always try to think about the future and what I could do more and just to be better.
Oh, you're going to have a great future, and the future includes the 2021 football season, new offensive coordinator. Have you seen new wrinkles, and do you like them?
Yeah, with Coach Warner, it's a lot of new differences, and it's just a new set of eyes, so it's a different perspective. I mean, he could see something that the last OC didn't or that nobody else can see because every human is different, so it's no telling what he looks at in the offense or what he looks at in a player. So just to get a new perspective is good for everybody. And
you're going to be wearing number 2 again this year for the second year in a row. The number 2 is in honor of Luke Laufenberg. His dad, of course, Babe Laufenberg, played in the National Football League, and Luke lost his battle to cancer. When you wore it last year, was that special for you? And when you wear it again this year, is that going to be special?
Yes, sir. To wear the Luke Laufenberg jersey again and to continue to have the last name on it is very special to me, and it means a lot to not just me, but to Coach Dimmel and to the family as well. And we have spoken about it, and it's going to be a tradition ever at UTEP to wear the number 2 and to honor Luke and to make sure that his legacy forever lives on. And, I mean, it was a big accomplishment, and I was very grateful that Coach Dimmel granted me the opportunity to wear the jersey.
Of course, Luke Laufenberg played tight end at UTEP. Thank you for being part of our show today. We wish you the best of luck, and I got a funny feeling we're going to see your name again on an all-conference list come the end of the year.
Yes, sir. It's in God's plan. It'll happen for sure, and I'm going to continue to work hard and do everything I can.
All right. Best of luck to you this season. We will continue our look at the West. Coming up next, Mike Bloomgren, the head coach of Rice, all coming up on Conference USA Kickoff, presented by Ryan.